Hello friends, welcome to the series on predictive techniques. In this series of videos, we will be discussing various concepts and principles of systems approach to interpreting horoscopes. And you can always refer to our website yournetastrologer.com for detailed explanations, examples, and various other learning resources. The links to the resources are shared in the description box. Remembering Lord Ganesha, let's begin the series.
In this edition, we will learn how to analyze a horoscope in 3 minutes. We will learn all the concepts in a step-by-step manner. So what are the requirements to analyze a horoscope quickly? It starts from casting a proper horoscope and ends at prescription of remedies and making predictions for the native. So let's see all these steps one by one. The first and foremost important thing is the reliability of birth data. We have to ensure correct birth data as it is the foundation of right analysis. So cast the horoscope with proper divisional charts using a good software, reliable software like Jyotish tools. And still if you find that the ascendant is either in beginning or ending degrees, that is 0 degree or 29 degrees, then before proceeding with the analysis and predictions, one must verify the ascendant with reference to some past events of the native. In step 2, we focus on various important elements of horoscope. The important elements are the identification of functional nature of planets, identification of the most effective point, identification of most malefic planet, most benefic planet, and the analysis of divisional chart for deeper understanding of a particular aspect of life. It is as a memory technique, students use the BEND-M acronym, which stands for benefic, effective, nature, divisional charts, and malefic planets. So BEND-M is a memory tool. It can be graphically shown like this. Now, what are the elements of the horoscope? First, we have to cast the chart, then we see the functional nature of planets. Then we identify the most effective point, which is the degree rising in the ascendant of the chart. And it becomes valid for all the houses. The MEP of all the houses is the most effective point, is the ascending degree. Then we identify the most malefic planet, which is either 8th lord or 12th lord or Ketu, as the case may be in different ascendants, and the most benefic planet, which is either 4th lord, 2nd lord, 3rd lord, or 9th lord. So if you cast the horoscope properly, so these things are very easy and one can identify these things in a jiffy. Then comes the main thing, spotting the planetary strengths and aspects. This is the most important part, and one must spend time on this. Determine the strength of each and every planet, and determine the while determining the strength of each and every planet, we see why a planet is weak, and if a particular planet is weak on multiple accounts, then that becomes a problematic thing. Then we see how these planets are interacting with the MEP, whether they are close or they are far. So we identify the auspicious and inauspicious conjunctions as aspects as well. So benefics make good conjunctions and aspects, and malefics make bad conjunctions and afflictions. They give rise to problems. Then the placement of planets, which planet is placed in which house. Like lot of ascendant is placed in third house, fourth house, sixth house, or 12th house. So each and every planet's placement is identified, and we encircle the planets which are closely afflicted, and houses one can mark which are closely afflicted by the malefic planets. So the encircled planets and afflicted MEPs determine the weakness of the chart and the problem areas for the chart. So in systems approach, to identify the closeness of aspects and conjunctions, we use a 5-degree rule for weak planets. For strong planets, it can be either 1 or 2 degrees depending on the level of affliction or the source of affliction. So for strong planets, it is either 1 degree or 2 degree, and for weak planets, it's a 5-degree aspect. Then when we have prepared the horoscope, identified the aspects, conjunctions, then we see which planets are currently operating in the chart. That is the main and sub periods. So in systems approach, we lay more importance on the sub period than the main period. So we must see how the sub period lord is placed in the chart, where in which house it is placed, and it rules which house, whether it is a functional malefic planet or a functional benefic planet, and how this planet is, the sub period lord is faring in the transit. What is its transit strength? So this is very important, because when the sub period lord is very weak or involved in prolonged conjunctions with malefics in transit, even if it is strong in the natal chart, it doesn't give good results, because that strength of the natal chart is now reduced by the affliction and weakness of the transit afflictions. So then we move ahead, and in step 5 we intermix the relationships of natal chart and transit chart. So we gauge the transit influence by employing a technique known as triple transit analysis, in which we analyze the transit in 3 dimensions: from transit to natal chart, from transit to transit chart, and from natal chart to transit chart. So this is something to be noted, that whenever we see the transit, we have to analyze it with reference to the ascendant only, and not the moon, which generally other astrologers do. In systems approach, we have to analyze the transit with reference to the natal ascendant. Then we analyze the movement, immediate future movement in coming months of the transit planets, whether they are stationary or whether they are moving away. So that will help us in timing the events and timing of relief from the current situation. And suppose somebody is ill or somebody is missing, so when he will return, or when such a person will be healthy again or discharged from hospital. So many things are identified, many such queries are answered by the help of triple transit influence only. Now, very important thing is, suppose you see the chart for the first time, so we must assess the longevity also. Longevity factors are many, and main factors which you need to study in the chart is whether there is Mool Trikona sign rising in the ascendant, and what is the nature of operating sub-period lord, whether it is a functional malefic or a benefic or most malefic planet, and what is the transit strength of the operating planets. Then we see the strength of significator of longevity, that is Saturn, and then we analyze. If you know that the time of birth is quite accurate, then we can deeply analyze the Ashthamsa also, the 8th division, its ascendant and its impact on ascendants of the Ashthamsa. If Mool Trikona sign is rising in the Ashthamsa, so that planet becomes additional significator for longevity. So in final steps, we try to synthesize all these informations gathered in the initial stages and blend it into a final picture, and then we can make predictions. So when we make predictions and we find that the coming period is bad, or some negative conjunctions are going to happen, or some nodes are going to be stationary or MEP or some things like that, or the person is suffering from strong afflictions in the natal chart, so we must prescribe the astrological remedial measures for the malefic planets. So, and functional benefic planets, if these are weak, so we must advise strengthening of that planet, or if there are more than one, we have to strengthen all the benefics. So they can be strengthened by either a kavach or gemstones. So this is how we analyze the chart quickly. So they may seem to be there may be many steps, but when you practice this, you will find that you can arrive at conclusion for problem areas in just 3-4 minutes. And Jyotish tool software is very helpful in this. If you use that, your speed automatically increases. And we will study another practical example in the next video, which will demonstrate these steps in action. Thank you.